Having a few useful tools lying around can really change a workplace, and thankfully, tools are now smarter than ever. There are all kinds of useful tools you can buy right now, such as the Wagner Heat Gun, the most powerful heat gun consumers can buy, and the Hazet, a gadget that can turn any tool into a power tool. Here are 12 work tools that are on another level. Number 12. Little Giant. A ladder is probably one of the most essential tools you can have in your house, and to make sure you get the most use out of your ladder, you want to be the very best. If you were wondering what is the best ladder out there, look no further than the Little Giant Revolution. This is probably the most versatile ladder out there. First of all, there's more to this ladder than meets the eye, by which we mean pretty much half of the ladder is hidden within it. Just unlock the ladder from the sides and pull out the extension. You'll be able to almost double the height of the ladder. You can also completely straighten your ladder from an upside down V position into an upright position. Number 11. Schleuniger Coke Strip. Have you ever tried to cut or strip a wire with a knife, scissor, or any other sharp object? Odds are you probably ended up hurting yourself in the process. Using a wire cutter is fine, but stripping the wires is next to impossible with one, since wire cutters are meant to cut straight through the wire. One of the most perfect products for if you're facing this problem is the Schleuniger Coke Strip. This is a machine that you can insert almost any wire into, and it'll carefully slice through the outer layer of the wire while keeping the actual wire itself protected. The end result is a perfectly stripped bare wire. The touchscreen control center makes it extremely user-friendly. You don't need to be an experienced electrician to use this thing. But in case you are one, this is an almost essential tool. Number 10. Hydraulic Wheel Trolley. If you work in an environment with a lot of automobiles, or simply own a few trucks yourself, you probably know about how moving massive tires around is next to impossible for most people. Forget your hands. You can't even use a forklift to pick some of these tires up, so what can you do? The WT-1500NT heavy-duty wheel trolley is able to pick up the largest wheels in the world and easily transport them with the help of only one person. All you need to control this thing are two handles, and transporting massive wheels is now just a walk in the park. There's a little bit of manual work happening here, but this tool is designed to be as seamless as possible despite being manual. When it actually lifts up your wheel, you can lock it in place and move it around without worry. Number 9. Rexinger Machine. If you've ever used a sawing machine in the past, you probably know exactly how limited those things can be. More often than not, they're only able to cut in one specific direction, with you having to move around the object you're cutting instead of being able to move the saw itself. The BSM 630RW is pretty much the Swiss Army knife of sawing machines. This is the most flexible sawing machine you will ever see in your life. It's primarily used to cut things like pipes and other rounded objects, but it can be used for other stuff as well. The platform can fully secure the object the machine is cutting, and it can be adjusted to cut in all sorts of different angles. As sturdy as this machine may seem, it's still super flexible. Number 8. Snap-on Platform. Sometimes you just need a little bit of height without actually using an entire ladder. Using a box to stand on works in some cases, but for the most part, you're usually out of luck. With this snap-on platform, you never have to worry about that again. This is sort of a ladder. We don't really know what to call it, but at the end of the day, this is a platform that supports your stomach and legs instead of just your legs, allowing you to lay down on your stomach and reach those difficult flat areas. For example, if you have a rather tall truck, you can use this platform to open the hood and reach the most distant part of the hood with no problem. This would have been normally impossible on a ladder, but this platform makes it possible. Number 7. Multi-angle alloy ruler. A ruler is one of the most basic things you'd expect inside any toolbox, but how do you get the most out of a ruler? The multi-angle alloy ruler is one of the most versatile rulers you can buy, and once you use this thing, you won't be able to use any other ruler at all. This ruler has multiple angles that make repetitive measurements a piece of cake. Want to keep one measurement for the y-axis and one measurement for the x-axis? This ruler will remember to do that. You can lock an angle onto this ruler, ensuring you get the exact same measurement each time with a tiny error margin. Number 6. Hazet. A drill is one of the most useful tools anyone can have, but those usually only have one purpose: making holes. What if you added the power of a drill into some other tools? The Hazet does exactly that. This is a power tool in which you can insert all kinds of chisels, whether it's a basic vibration chisel that can really help you hammer in those nails, or a vibration chisel. These can be used with a nut driver and some of the other tools around the house, with the vibration adding more power to your overall tools. This thing can be useful in more ways than one. Number 5. Ryobi Looper. The Ryobi Looper is one of the most useful gardening tools you can buy right now. Pruning trees can be a tedious process, and those hard to reach branches can really be a pain sometimes. The Ryobi Looper is designed in a way that reaching any branch is a piece of cake. It's incredibly powerful and easy to use. It can get some of the most precise cuts you can imagine. The length of the tool also gives you a little extra height that you wouldn't have with most manual tools. Overall, this is the best tree pruning tool you can buy right now. Number 4. Diama Brush. Have you ever removed a carpet from the floor after years and then had to deal with all the glue residue that is left over and impossible to remove? It's more than just glue, since all kinds of junk can get stuck to the floor. The Diama brush is the perfect tool to use in such an event. This is a powerful tool that can easily scrape all kinds of materials out of any floor. It's made to scrape the kind of glue that has been left to dry out for years, making it almost as hard as the floor itself. There's no amount of soap or scraping that can do what the Diama brush is able to do. Number 3. Wagner Heat Gun. The Wagner Furno 500 is one of the most powerful heat guns you can buy. Not only is this powerful, but it's also easy to use, and it has more safety features than other heat guns. This heat gun has 12 different temperature options that range from 150 degrees Fahrenheit to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. You can use this for all kinds of purposes, such as welding or bending steel, heating up and removing paint from the walls, or even reviving an internally fogged headlight. If you're in the market for a heat gun right now, there isn't a better one to buy than this one. Number 2. Twinny T7. You don't really need to be a trained welder to start welding. With a Twinny T7, you can start welding with basically no experience at all. This is one of the most user-friendly welding tools on the market because it targets people who aren't experts in the field. You can use this welding tool through a smartphone app, from which you can adjust the exact temperature, the speed, the welding pressure, and air volume. It's an automatic welder, so you don't need to put nearly as much effort as a regular welder. Overall, following tutorials with this tool would be a piece of cake, and it truly is the best welding tool for if you're a beginner. Number 1. Bora Speedhorse. The Speedhorse is the easiest sawhorse you will ever use in your life. Setting up this sawhorse is a matter of 2 seconds. Just pick it up, release its legs, and it'll automatically be set up and secured. Despite being so portable, this thing is extremely durable. It can withstand anything a wooden sawhorse can handle and more. Overall, this tool can make sawing a piece of cake even for beginners, and unlike some competitors, this is an extremely affordable price range. If you are looking for a tool to get into sawing, aside from an actual saw of course, then there really isn't a more perfect tool that you can buy. Alright, comment below which of these work tools would be useful to you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to TechJoint, and we'll see you in the next one.